Most people roll into the Seder and they know this part. So then what's the point? We have to delve deeper to understand what's really going on. Every moment has a theme and every nuance matters. And when you go through it, you come out a different person. So that's what we're going to explore together. The themes, the lessons, the reasons, the purpose. Because that's what this is really all about. Okay, there's an interesting bridge that usually we just run through. That it pays us to slow down for a second. Because while it's got a lot of words, and we have know what we're saying here. We come out of the plagues, and now we're like counting. You know what I'm saying? Like Rosh Hashanah says, here's how it works. There's 10 makos, and it says etzba, so that's 10. But when it comes to the Yam Suf, it says Vayari sells a yad hagadola. Well, if etzba's 1 and a yad has 5 fingers, so therefore, if there's 10 makos and it's 1, and you have 5, which is the fingers of the hands, so that must be there's 50 makos at the sea. And then Rabbi Elazar comes in and goes, whoa, wait. There's a pasuk, right? That Hashem said, Evra, Vizar, Vitzam, Vitzara. So really it's 4. So every makos is really 4. So therefore, really, there's 40 makos. So then we multiply that, and it's 200. And then he goes, no, there's more than that. It's really 5, and it's 250. And now we're like, all of a sudden, like, into this, like, we're like, what? You know, you're going through Haggadah, and you're like, and then you're like, what are we talking about? Like, what just happened? Why are we counting makos? And why are we adding numbers? And who cares how many there are? So I saw this beautiful idea from Rabbi Yehuda Prero, who quoted the Vilna Gaon. Here's what he says. Listen how cool this is. And if you really delve into this for a minute, this could be really, really cool. We have a haftacha, we have a promise. Kol ha'machal asher samtim in Mitzrayim, whatever I've brought you Mitzrayim, Hashem says, lo asim alecha. If I brought a makkah, if I brought an affliction in Mitzrayim, you don't get it. So the rabbis go, really? No makkos that were brought on in Mitzrayim? Interesting. Okay, you think there were 10 makkos. Well, that's only for the etzba. If you realize that the yad, which is how you did this, the C, is 5 times the etzba, right? It's 5 fingers to 1. Therefore, it's really 50 makos that we don't get. 50 types of afflictions that we save us from. And I realize it goes, really, the truth is there's a pasuk connected to these makos, and so it's really 4 per makkah. So now I get you to 200. And Ricky goes, I can go to 250. What's happening now is that we are announcing to Hashem that there were anywhere between 50 to 200 to 250 makos that we experienced, or that the Egyptians experienced, that are now out from use in your world against us. It's cool. Why? This goes back to what we said earlier. This piece that seems so irrelevant is so relevant. If you look at the Haggadah, you will find again and again little words here and there that tell big stories. Dam va'esh v'simros ashan tells a story of pay attention. These are signs from Hashem for tshuva. Yachol mirosh chodesh says you're a partner with Hashem. The entire story comes down to a few lines. Small words. Just dipping sends a message. Breaking a matzah sends a message. Remember, Chacham is always curious. The Chachamim are showing us something really cool. We're partners with Hashem. We turn to Hashem and we say, we have a deal. Your Torah is MS. You told us that every time you brought anything in Egypt, it's not coming our way. You think it's 10? I can darshan that it's 250. And Hashem will say, okay, I got it. Famous story of Rabbi Eliezer. Remember the story in Gemara? Rabbi Eliezer paskin that oven was tahor, and the rabbi said that it was tameh. And Rabbi Eliezer turned and brought miracles. It's a famous story. The walls of the base medrash, the flow of the river. Even the Baskol says Eliezer is right, and the Chacham turned and said, Lo b'shamayim. this incredible power. And if you think about how Torah works, the rabbis are creating spiritual reality. When a rabbi looks, a rabbi expert looks and says, this is kosher or not kosher, that has the difference of being metamtim your lave. Non-kosher food is spiritually harmful. Well, when did it become harmful or helpful? Based on what? The brain of a human being? Yeah. A rabbi can determine massive things. A rabbi can hold a cup and recite a couple of words under a chuppah. And after those words are recited, that couple could be in the middle of the most holiest matrimony that could draw a soul from heaven. And if not, can be dealing with such levels of depravity. What happened? What happened was that Hashem has told us we're partners. Yeah, we're partners. Your decisions. Now, you have to be qualified. But when you study Torah, when you get involved in this religion, you're not just a slave that puts its head down. Yes, there's servitude, if you will. You give yourself to Hashem, but we're partners. Yachol Rosh Chodesh, you're determining where I'm going to be. The halacha allows you to determine what's right and what's wrong. You can sit at a table on Pesach Seder, and one person can eat one thing, one person can eat one, and they're both right. Well, how? Because of their own traditions and their own... Where's the objective reality? And the answer is it's not. It's spiritual reality. The Torah is so powerful that it gives us the ability to change spiritual reality. That's where we are. You're sitting at this part of the Seder, and it feels like an irrelevant moment. It is anything but. You turn to your family, you turn to yourself, and you go, wait, the rabbis are fighting to count makkos because they know that if they can count 250 makkos, they will turn to Hashem and say, don't bring them on us. And Hashem will say, you're right. Okay, you're not getting that thing. Why? Because Rabbi Akiva? Yeah, because Rabbi Akiva has the power to look at a pasuk and say, that means that's not ours. Get rid of it. Sounds crazy, but that's what it means to be a Jew. So we come out of the Makos and we realize that our job is to represent Hashem, and before we make one step forward, we realize that we are partners in that. We're creating spiritual realities. We are shifting the world around us. The physical world can't create anything. They just move things around. The spiritual world is the creation moment. The way we understand and paskin and understand Torah is creating the reality that we're living in. And so we pause here as the rabbis debate how many makos they can get put into this story, because they know that if they can get more makos in, it'll save the Jews forever from ever getting that affliction, and Hashem will bind himself to that interpretation. That's powerful. That's what it means to be a partner with Hashem. That's the corollary to representing him into this world. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for this series. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that it enhances your Seder and brings you closer to Hashem. We have some cliff notes for you in case you want a Seder companion. You can download it. Check out the series and the downloadable stuff at pesach.us, pesach.us. And hope you have a great holiday, and may we see the full redemption soon.